This video runs about 10 minutes, 37 seconds. When I got this boat, there's quite a mess in the wiring in the battery box. A lot of the wires didn't even have fuses on them. Anytime anything was added to the boat, another set of wires would run for power and they're just hooked to a battery. So technically you couldn't shut everything off. The only thing you could shut off with the battery switch was the motor itself. The first part of the process was to clean out the battery box. Took the switch off the back, disconnected that. All of the leads had to come from there. I had to get underneath and see if there's any room back there to drill holes, make sure I wasn't going to poke into things. The heavy cables you see sitting there are run to the outboard motor in the back. There's a Yamaha 30 horse on the back. The trick to these holes was they were a double D shape, and I had to cut them with a hand grinder, which I thought was going to be the hardest part of the job, which turned out to be part of the easiest part of the job. Overall, this whole job probably spent 4 or 5 hours on it. Little house cleaning's necessary every now and then. You gotta stop and pick up all the dust and dirt and grindings. Here I am shoving a 10 gauge wire into a 12 gauge terminal and using a stake on pliers to grip it. Actually, here I'm putting the wire into the terminal. Very secure connections. This 10 gauge wiring harness was a remnant of a boat that was jumped out. It was the power to the trim unit. On the lower left of the screen you can see one of the through bulkhead connectors. They're pretty sturdy little units. Made a good place to put the terminals, run all the wires. Here I chased wires down the backside, brought them in from below. Actually, you'd think it would be a lot of room back there, and there really was not. And there is a lot of wires back in there shoved up underneath. Mounted the battery switch basically back where it was in the beginning. Coming off the battery switch power side is the engine feed for the terminal and the outboard motor on the back. Removing the battery tray for battery number 2. I gotta shove it over a little bit and I'm gonna fit in the built-in battery charger. Just enough room to get the battery charger in there. Move the battery over a little bit. Between the switch and the battery charger, enough room for group 24, and that's it. But it works. Now the only thing connected to the batteries are the main cables and the battery charger. Everything else crosses over and connects to the terminals that I installed. I put fuses in 2 of the wires that were Here's the final job. May not look real neat, but believe me, it's a heck of a lot better than it was. Still got to do a 110 power supply to the boat, so right now just an extension cord hooked up, but much better, much safer too. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe and make your comments, plus or minus. Negative comments are welcomed also.